Hello and welcome to This Is Metal with Tom Collier. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston. Of course, Tom Collier is a wonderful co-host and partner in crime. And today our special guest is the band the Fast Mothers, as you can see. They are also signed to Fire Rock Music Group, who sponsors our show. We thank them for that. Welcome to the show, guys. You want to go around and introduce yourselves?
How's everybody doing? And welcome from Memphis. My name is Chris Rubel. I'm the drummer, and this is my identical twin brother, Tracy. He is our singer. And back here on guitar, we have Cricket, Warren. And back here on bass, we have John Davis. And we are missing one member, Wayne Walker. He could not make it tonight, so we have two guitar players. And we are the Fast Mothers.
Maybe next time, Chris. I don't know if anybody's ever told you. Just image-wise, you're kind of a cross between Chris Robinson and Steven Tyler.
All right. Okay. Well, I will.
We'll take that.
Yes.
We'll take that.
And I love the fact you guys are twin brothers that look nothing alike. Now, let me ask you guys: are you guys like the Van Halens that just love one another, or are you like the feuding Robinson brothers?
We were like the feuding Robinson brothers
And Oasis.
and Oasis or whatever, but
there you go.
and it's a unique thing. Much like the Robinson brothers or any duo.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was like a battery. One's positive, one's negative, and it makes the spark.
A creative spark, if you will.
Yeah. And as much as that spark is, I mean, I'd imagine too that being brothers, you got that bloodline, and so you guys probably like very much like the Van Halen brothers feed off of each other.
Oh, absolutely. Musically, in life, we feel things. Everything you've ever heard about twins especially.
True.
It's true. We're 10 minutes apart, and
So let me ask you, other guys in the band,
yes.
what's it like to be in the band with two brothers? I mean, maybe I'm making a big deal of it. I guess what I'm asking, do you think like, hey, the brothers, they're always together, they're always doing stuff, or would you say everybody in the band collaboratively is really involved in the writing and everything?
Oh yeah, we're all involved in this, and it's not the whole, oh God, we got to work with the brothers here or anything like that. We're just like a regular band. Just a couple of us are related.
So I always love to ask people. So let's go around room again. We'll start with you, Chris. Now you said you're the drummer. So in your case, like explain to the people watching this, why did you pick the drums as your instrument of choice? I always love to ask people that.
Well, actually, it all came about our father, who is in the West Texas Rockabilly Hall of Fame. He played with a band called the Cavaliers, and we could talk about that later if you wish, or
sure.
another show.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the home we grew up in was always full of music. The bands were always rehearsing, everyone from my father's band to our older sisters' bands, and we just kind of picked up instruments. I think the one Christmas I got a guitar and Tracy got drums. I couldn't figure that thing out for nothing. And we actually both gravitated towards drums. He actually played drums for quite a few bands in the early 90s that got some national attention back in the day. But drums I just gravitated towards because of the groove, the pocket, how certain drummers serve the song.
Sure. I
don't
mean,
know.
let's be honest, Chris. When you guys go in the studio and you record the drums are probably the foundation of everything, right?
Well, actually, they are. We have recorded differently in a way where we go in and set click tracks first, and I come in and lay the drum tracks. Everyone else comes in afterwards. Although I think our asset is our live show.
Yeah,
it works for us recording that way in the studio.
And so based on that, Chris, I'm almost guessing if people think that you guys sound live anything like what the record sounds like, it's probably very much like going to see a Deep Purple show, which is if you want to stay home, if you want to listen to records, stay home. But if you want to see us kick some ass, come see us play live.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what you hear is what you get, but it's just the energy with the live show.
Sure.
And you got the band's adrenaline, natural adrenaline going, so it feeds off of each other. And basically we started off to want to be a great live band and started recording later. So that's
Yeah.
where our skills lie.
And I'm assuming that you guys, when you do play live, you're very much feeding off, the reaction of your audience.
Yeah, very much so. And that's why that we enjoy playing live in front of different audiences, especially out of the Memphis region, because I mean, we see the looks on their faces, and they're like, "Man, this is rock and roll. This is it's nothing but rock and roll," and it's our influences show through all of us. And you, with the Fast Mothers, you hear just about everything you've ever heard in your life in a melded pot of gumbo, if you will.
Sure.
And, oh yeah, man, it's but yeah, we feed off the audience as well as each other, because the musicianship in the band, I'm in constant awe of these guys.
Absolutely, it's definitely not the Chris and Tracy Rubel show. We are a band.
It's not. I thought it was. No, dude, come on, man. That's it. I'm out of here, man.
No, we are.
Chris has three more brothers, right? Yeah. So let me ask you guys, because see, you definitely would not be mistaken for a cleaning crew. I mean, the way you look, you definitely somebody see on the street, they'd be like, they got to play in a band. Those guys.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. Well, who doesn't like to play dress up? But we provide a show, and we do go out in public. We dress. We put our people, our faces in front.
Everyday clothes. Your everyday, yeah.
It's a constant game face, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but that's who we are. We're not faking. We're not the posers. We've been at this for many, many years. Especially in Memphis, Tennessee, you cannot, a poser is spotted 60 miles away.
I was just gonna say that. Now I'm gonna throw it to you, Tom. But before I do, I was gonna ask you. So, how did the Fast Mothers come to your attention? And what was your immediate reaction first time you listened to their music?
So Mike Wilkerson, our A&R guy, I'd hired Mike to run the A&R department, and he brought them to us. I was really, really excited with when we heard them. I was like, damn, he kept saying, you got to listen to these guys. They're Southern rock. He said, I can't really describe them. I said, well, we're more of a rock heavy label. And when I got a chance to listen to these guys, I was like, yeah, they've got something special there. And first of all, welcome to the label to you guys. Welcome to Fire Rock Music Group. We know you guys are going to be successful. And the other thing I really liked about you guys was when I seen the posts, and we follow, every record label looks at social media. You guys were encouraging other bands, and bands were cheering you guys on. You were cheering other bands on. That's what I love. Being a musician, sure. I love seeing people. I hate when people are petty and they fight and they got something bad to say. You guys, when you guys announced you were signed, you actually announced other bands that signed to different labels, and I really like that.
In this community, especially in Memphis, I'm not sure how it is elsewhere. We are such a tight-knit group. As a matter of fact, there's a group called the Memphis Music Family, and that's exactly what we are.
Yeah, and we believe in a concept that we call bootstrapping, to where you would bootstrap off another band to play in front of their crowd, another out of town, that we could go open them up. They could come to Memphis, open us up, and So there's a lot of camaraderie, not only in Memphis, but that's what the Fast Mothers are about. We want to.
Well, we support local acts. Whether we're
everything.
playing or not, we're out constantly watching new bands. There is a phenomenal amount of bands in this town that are emerging. You guys should probably look out as well. I mean, they're coming around. The scene has never died. It's just got a reboot due to a few bands here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think you guys are perfect, Tracy. Like you're saying, you could go out with a hard rock band. You could go out with a band that's a little more pop oriented. Probably, you're not really quite a metal band, but I think, like a hard rock band, you guys could go out and open for. And I think the type of music you guys do, you can play with a diverse number of different types of acts,
And we do. As a matter of fact, we play with a lot of the harder rock bands, actually a couple of bands that have been signed for years that come through town. Our guitar player, Cricket, as a matter of fact, has toured with one of the world's biggest metal bands, which is Cricket. Tell them about it.
Medieval Steel.
Where's that? What's that?
Medieval Steel. Have you heard of those guys?
I have to check them out. Never heard of them, but wow. Now I got to ask you, how did you get the name Cricket? I mean,
but it goes back when I was born, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, did somebody else give you a name, or is it something you came up with?
No, it was given to me by my parents.
That's
and
cool.
plus,
Yeah.
he's really quiet, so he doesn't. I mean,
just like a cricket, yeah. Well, it's the quiet ones you got to watch out. I imagine, I imagine he may be kind of quiet, but he probably comes up with some killer guitar riffs.
Man, incredible. And what we were going to say about our guitar players, Cricket comes from a heavy metal background.
Wow, I love that. Yeah.
Oh man, incredible heavy metal guitar player. And Wayne Walker, our other guitar player, is more bluesy and yeah. And to mix them both together, like you said, with the guitar riffs and stuff, the vocal riffs, we would be able to play any show with any artist.
Oh yeah, we fit well on any bill.
Yeah, and I love a band's logo. I mean, talk about that. I mean, it really stands out. People, that's one of the things I noticed right away. The mushroom is pretty hippie looking, but it's cool. It gets people's attention.
Well, right on. I mean, we don't necessarily endorse the shrooms.
I got just the look. Yeah,
it's a great logo. It's a vibe we like to pull off. We're mellow guys, but you're going to get an energetic show that no mushroom could ever give you.
So let me ask you, Tom, being a guitar player yourself, like when you heard these guys, what was your immediate reaction to the guitar playing?
Well, that was really cool. It was diverse. There was a great blend of the tones of the guitars are great, but the styles too. I mean, it was really it was different, but really excellent. I thought I really liked it. And it caught my attention. And not many bands catch my attention, but Mike kept telling me, you got to listen to these guys. And I said, all right, Mike, I'll listen to them. And I was like, I called him back and said, holy shit. Yeah, we got to sign these guys.
It almost sounds like at first, without even hearing the band, you were kind of apprehensive just based on the description. And it almost sounds like, well, these guys are a little different, but they're different in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been out with Molly Hatchet. I've toured with Molly Hatchet. I've been out with everybody, from Molly Hatchet to Metal Allegiance, which I'll be with next month, Man of War, Quiet Riot. I've been out with all these guys. So when I heard these guys, I was like, yeah, they got the sound that it's a very unique sound, and they got a sound that not everybody has. That's all I describe it. But I was happy that I listened to them. Mike badgered me, and I kept saying, Mike, right now I'm really focused on, we got some heavy bands, and we're bringing on Yngwie Malmsteen singer. We got all these people coming on. And he says, you got to listen to these guys. And it took me within the second song, I was like, I called him back. You're right. Let's put a deal memo together. Let's get these guys signed.
Mike's like hit it on the nail. What I mean is him, you, and the whole team at Fire Rock. I mean, we've had almost everybody you guys have signed so far to the label on the show. And one thing that's really impressed me is each act is diversely different. I mean, you even look at the Devil Dolls we interviewed a couple of weeks back, and just the look alone, the image. I mean, they kind of got an Alice Cooper Kiss thing, but I love it.
Those dudes are sick. We watch that. Those guys are sick. I mean, the Devil Dolls. What's the chick?
Oh yeah, Jezebel.
Jezebel, yeah.
And I think that's what attracted us when we were speaking with Mike in the beginning, was the fact that he wanted to create diversity, and he was the brand new head of A&R. And so
we thought that Fire Rock Records needed a rock and roll band, man. So here we are.
And you guys, the cool thing is you guys right now, you are the first of that type that the label is signed. And so any other band that kind of has that similar sound, they're going to have to follow you, you know?
well, you know, it's lead, follow, or get out of the way. But no, we love what we do. We really honestly just want people to hear our music. We don't, you know, we're fans first of all bands, and we're musicians second. And so, you know, any bill we hop on, we're not just going to bolt after our gig if we're playing first or whatever. We're going to sit down and watch their show.
Especially if we get to hang out with Man of War, that would be sick.
Yeah, right.
I toured with those guys, and actually Ross, the boss, is one of my best friends. He was at the hospital when my son was born. Him and the drummer from Man of War, Scott Columbus. Yeah, I those guys in the '80s. I toured on the World Loudest Fan tour with them.
Man,
excellent.
That is so cool. We're fans. We're total fans.
We're going to do a Fire Rock show next summer. We'll bring you guys to New York. We'll bring everybody here, and we'll bring some of the guys from Man. We're actually next weekend. The drummer Rhino is drumming with my band. He's coming in from Florida to drum a show with me. So yeah, we've recorded together, and he's got a new band called Angels of Babylon. He's working with Dave Elson, Ethan Brosh, and him. Did a great album. We just signed those guys, Angels of Babylon.
Wow. We can't wait.
You guys, what's it like to be signed to a label where the president of the record label is an actual musician himself?
I know it's unbelievable because as you can see, he's not in a suit. He very much.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, very much looks just like us.
And he has the same goals as we do.
Yeah.
We did look at Fire Rock. As a matter of fact, I've been communicating on and off for 6 years now with Michael. First through his show, Blast on Mike, and then the vision this company has fits perfectly in line with what our goals are at this point in our career. And you know, you wouldn't have major artists that they're having signed right now if they didn't feel the same, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, and let's talk about what are your guys' plans. I mean, Tom told me before you guys came on, today that you guys are working towards, you're writing new music and working on a new album. Do you have a projected release date? Or have you started recording? Where are you with all that?
Well, I think right now we want to take not a whole lot of time, but we want to have the perfect first national, international release for Fire Rock Records. I think what you're going to hear, you're going to like. We're projected as soon as a couple weeks to go in the studio and do some work on a couple new songs. And then some of the other songs are songs that have not been nationally released that you guys are totally going to dig.
And now, Tom, let me ask you, because as Chris said that the main priority of this new album they're going to go in and record in a few weeks. And you're sharing me that they got a backlog, catalog of music. Any chance that will be released by the label as well, or re-released or reissued?
So some of the stuff that they hasn't released nationally, we're going to release for them. Yes, absolutely. But we want them to take their time. There's no hurry. If it comes out in February, if it comes out in August, or if it comes out next November, a year from now, we're behind these guys. We want these guys to do the best project, and we want them to make the most impact. This label is all about getting the artists the best that we can. We're handing them the best tools we can. As you know, Michael Brandwald, you know him personally. I mean, he's one of the best publicists out there. We've got radio publicists. We're doing everything we can. We're saying, hey, we want the artists to be successful. The label's always going to be fine. We don't care about making money. This is all about the artists. When they asked me to be the president, I said, I don't give a shit about this label. You bring me in here, everything we do is going to be geared towards the artist. And they agreed to it. And so that's why I'm here. And these guys are doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
We were excited to sign you guys. We're happy you guys are here. And take your time. Don't ever think you're under pressure from us.
Oh, no. I just try and ask them to kind of, people wonder, also, when, how can we check out the music and
we're ready right now.
Yeah.
We're so ready right now.
People find you guys online.
Pardon?
I'm saying, where you want to let people know where they can find you online, or do you want to purchase some of your past albums? What's the best way to do that?
Well, actually, the best way to find us online, of course, it would be Facebook. We're on Twitter, TikTok. What other platforms? Instagram. I'm sorry, Instagram. Yes. So any of those things, you could look us up and contact us.
You can download. There's some videos that we have, but you'll be able to download within next year, middle of next year, some preview tracks.
Okay, cool.
Then the album will be revealed sometime next year.
And I got to ask you guys, I always love to ask, because I know one of the hardest things is to come up with a band name. How did you come up with the Fast Mothers?
We thought it was a great name for a rock and roll band. Yeah. I mean, it just it
rolled off your tongue, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing more.
Yeah, there's no back mystery story or anything about it, and which is much the way we are. Just it's a great name for a rock band, and we think that you guys are going to be very happy with the rock band that you have.
I mean, you guys got that rock and roll look, and so I mean, you're halfway there. And I was checking out some of the songs that are posted, and it just it's kind of great bluesy kind of rock feel to it. And I think anybody that's a fan of it's kind of a little bit of everything, a little bit of Rolling Stones, a little bit of Black Crowes, a little bit of Stevie Ray Vaughan, kind of that guitar sound.
Well, we appreciate that. Your opinion means an awful lot to us. Yeah.
But we also are all born and raised in the birthplace of rock and roll, and we are certainly not reinventing the wheel. So
sometimes that's cool, because it's not always about creating a new sound. I mean, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that classic rock sound we all grew up on, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's soul music.
Yeah. I mean, you can, like you're saying, Chris, you can tell when people are faking it, or trying to be something that they're not necessarily. Where I think people listen to this, it's really kind of rootsy type of, meaning that it comes from your guys' inner soul. It comes from writing about stuff that you personally went through, as opposed to, hey, that's the sound of yesterday. You guys got to be more modern. If you went and did that, it would be total. The fans would they'd call you out on it.
Oh, absolutely, especially in Memphis. They'll call you out in a second, because you're playing for tourists from all over the world to expect nothing but the best from Memphis,
and then the best musicians,
in this town. You're going.
I know Memphis has always been known kind of for the bluesy kind of sound, but do they have much of a rock scene there these days?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm biased. We're on the rock scene.
Sure. Yeah.
And there are a few other bands that are now starting to put out their own original music. And it's very much rock and roll. So there's still a good rock scene here in Memphis.
Yes, there's actually a decent rock scene. There's actually a decent metal scene here too.
And let me ask you, do you guys do this full time, or like a lot of musicians, would you consider yourself working musicians where you have day jobs and you do this kind of on the weekends and for fun?
Oh, no, we certainly do all have
Day jobs.
day jobs. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
A couple of us on our own businesses, which allow us enough time to invest in the music. Now, most of these guys, with the exception of me, back in the day as teenagers, they were in the vans and the cars and hitting the clubs from coast to coast, doing the road dog.
Yeah.
But you know, as families come along and no one's ever made money in rock and roll, really.
I mean, you know, there's no shame in that. You guys are working, living musicians. You got to pay the bills. You do whatever, and it's kind of cool that you get to do this on. You kind of live out your rock and roll dream, and still have the ability to pay the bills. I mean, even a band like Warrant that was all over MTV back in the day. I mean, they're playing clubs and doing weekend shows. They're multi-platinum artists anymore. They're not making that big million like they once were, but they're still out there doing it, you know?
Yeah. You'll see them at state fairs and so forth, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Of course not. Yeah.
But yeah, we
love to play. It's never really been about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get in the music business for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's it got to be a great feeling to have people come to your shows, and you know, once the record comes out, that they're gonna start singing the words to your song. I mean, that's gotta, when you're on stage and you hear people, you know, singing the words back, you know, your lyrics back to you, that's got the ultimate feeling of accomplishment. Yeah.
Speak on that, Tom. How you feel about
Yeah, sure. It's a great thing. I mean, to have people that dig what you're doing, and it's just what we do it for.
Yeah. Final question, I guess, for today, unless Tom has anything he wants to ask you, is have you guys had much opportunity to tour outside of your local area, Memphis, where you're from?
No, not much opportunities at all. You know, when we started off as the Fast Mothers 20 years ago, we did do the tri-state circle from Texarkana, Missouri, down to Louisiana. We did that type of thing, but our focus became at that time, there were not really, to our knowledge, any original acts.
Yeah, wow.
And the trend was where every club, and
lots of cover bands.
You can't blame them, and we love those guys. They're so talented. They do what we can't do.
And you guys have a working story. You know, I mean, I had no idea. 20 years, and you guys are still doing it. That just proves right there. Not only are you great at what you do, but you're in it for the long haul, and you're doing it because you love it.
Well, you know, our goal was to bring Memphis original music back to focus, because that's the way it was in the 90s as teenagers and in our early 20s and
in the 70s.
And you know, it sparked something. We like to think that it sparked something. There are a lot of new up and coming original bands that are coming out now. One of them just got signed, which happens to be our great friends Fever Tree. And you know, there's a lot of talent fixing to hit this scene right now with all original music. And I hope that we had a small part in that, because that's what we've been doing for the last 20 years, is concentrating on Memphis. Yeah.
Well, that's great. You know, mission accomplished. And let me just say, Tom, I mean, what Chris just came out of his mouth proved what you were saying in the top interview, that he's, you know, he's not just talking all about his band. He's mentioning his friend's band to kind of, so people will check them out. I think that's totally cool, man.
That's what I loved about them guys, is they talked good about other musicians and things like that. I mean, I'm so friends with so many musicians out there worldwide, and I just, you know, I love, like when I was at the NAMM show and Albert Bouchard's yelling to me across the thing from the Oyster Cult, going, Tom. I'm like, what the hell is that? I got bad eyesight. Oh, it's Albert. He comes up, hey, what are you doing? I said, I just played last night. So I'll probably see him again when I'm out there with Metal Allegiance. But you know, guys, thank you guys for signing with us. You know, you guys. We're going to do the best we can. It's a team effort. We're going to work together. We're going to try to make it a very successful release for you.
Absolutely. We certainly appreciate you guys and everything you've done for us so far. And it's only just begun, baby.
Absolutely. Love it. Love
You
it.
got that right, Chris. I mean, me, Tom just came on as my co-host. I was doing this with another guy, but we kind of relaunched the show with Tom last August, and
I've been following. Yes, absolutely.
And we're just getting this kicked off. So now that we have you on and you're signed to Fire Rock, you're part of the family. Anytime you guys drop a video, put out a single, have anything you want to talk about, you're more than welcome back here anytime. Don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, we can't come. We can't wait to come to Cali as well.
Absolutely.
Well, let us know. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
I'll see you out there in January, right? I'll be there January.
Right.
That's right. You'll be at the band show, but we definitely interested in hitting both coasts, especially with you, Tom. Can't wait to see you in person.
I'm also playing the Metal Hall show too. I'm playing the induction for the Metal Hall. I played last year for Twisted Sister and Lou Graham, Warner, Raven. I'm going back again this year, and I'm playing the Whiskey while I'm out there too.
Excellent.
I forgot to tell you that, Jay. I'll be at the Whiskey too.
All right, man. Listen, we're gonna have to mail you some Fast Mothers t-shirts, and maybe you can support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Take care, guys. It was great getting to know you. I really loved meeting y'all. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, man. We'll see you very soon.
Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Later.